So I am headed to Target right now, and Ian is with me. Ian, say hi.
Hi.
And we just got done watching the movie Twisters. It's Twisters.
Twister.
Ian, how did you like it?
I thought it was really good.
It was
really
so good. And we have such an amazing movie theater near us, like reclining seats, they're heated seats, like lots of space. It was such a great experience. Favorite part of the movie, what was it? I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know. I think the funny part was like the introduction to Tyler's gang. That was the funniest.
I do really like the whole like Tyler's gang in there. I think because I'm so nostalgic of like the old Twister, because it was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. I like the very beginning where they had like little hints of the movie from the first movie Twister. So I'm going to say that. But now we are headed to Target, as I mentioned, because I have to get a few things. I started stressing out this morning and thinking about a session that I have coming up on Monday because I didn't have certain materials. So I needed to create some resources so that I could prep all of these things for these brand new teachers. And so we're going to go in and grab those things and then head home and put everything together. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Should be okay with this. Should be our keywords here. All right, let's just do this. So we just got done at Target and I bought some cardstock, which is what I desperately needed. And then I ended up getting some envelopes to be able to store all of the activity materials for it. And I also got some frozen fruit because I am craving a smoothie. Probably not today, like it'll probably end up happening tomorrow, but I really, really want a smoothie at the moment. But we were getting back into the car, and is this just me or does everybody else have this too? That when you go and watch certain movies, you start to get kind of paranoid because we've had like a downpour of like rain right when we got home from the movie theater. Like really strong wind, heavy rain, and now all of a sudden it's really dark. Like show them how dark it is over here.
It is like crazy over there.
So we're headed home now, and hopefully I'm not going to be paranoid. I'll be in the comfort of my home. That's all that matters. But we're going to get home. I'm going to unload everything and then show you guys what I am making for my sessions on Monday.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm finally done with getting all of the pieces created on Google Slides and Canva. I've done a little combination of all of them. So here's the dealio of like what I'm doing. So I am doing this with another presenter. We're gonna have about 70 brand new teachers, like newly hired teachers within this county. And the county is basically taking all of, sorry, my son's squealing downstairs, but he's gonna be taking all of they're taking all of the school districts, and all the new teachers are coming together for this one training. And so during this training, it's going to be part of like structured literacy, and it's something that's coming down from the state. So we're going to be sharing about that, but then we're also going to give them kind of the theories for the science of reading. And so there's a section in there where there's a jigsaw. So they'll come together with 4 people, and within those 4 people, they're going to be given one of the theoretical underpinnings for the science of reading. So again, I have 5 of them. I have the reading brain, Aries phases, Scarborough's reading rope, the simple view of reading, and the 4-part processor. And so each group is going to have one of those 5. After that, they're going to then split apart and share the findings that they received from each of those parts. Now, we're going to be explaining these in the training, but we want them to just think about some questions and how this relates to the work that they're going to be doing in the classroom. So we are giving them information. Sometimes I really hate jigsaws in the sense that you miss out from the presenter, and so you have to rely on this person who you hope was actually paying attention in a lesson to share some of the information. And so that's always frustrating to me. So we are giving them a synopsis of each one first before we have them do this jigsaw. So each part of the process, each part of the theoretical frameworks, I'm just keep doing this, they're going to be doing some form of an activity that's going to take them through it. And then there's going to be some questions in their handout that they're going to reflect with before they head back to their other groups to share out from each of their sections. Okay, so I have created labels for each of the folders. I've also gone through and made directions for each one and then created all of the parts to it. So I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm just going to print everything out, which is going to take me a minute. And once I have things printed and I can start showing you what it all looks like, I think it's going to start to make more sense in the long run. So I'm going to prop you up and I'm going to go and get my things printed. So normally I will just walk back and forth to my printer, which is in my closet. But because I have so much printing to do, bless you, my goodness. But because I have so much printing to do, I figured it was easy because my printer's on an extension cord anyways, that I'm able to just pull it out on the little table that I have here. Fun fact, this table that it's actually sitting on was one that I got while I was a kindergarten teacher. So I've had it a very, very long time. I think I ended up getting it from another retired teacher who was like doing a garage sale. Same one that I bought those books from and those beans. So if you've been keeping up with the vlog so far. So I'm gonna pull out my papers, I'm gonna put a show on, and that's gonna allow me to just keep track and just get things printed. This is gonna be a sorry, that was Walter. This is gonna be a several part job because not only am I going to print them, but I'm also laminating them because I know I'm gonna end up using these for other trainings that I'm gonna do. So I might as well just make sure that it's laminated and it looks good. So that is what I'm gonna do. The movie of choice right now is gonna be one that I've watched a million times. And if you're like, oh, she's gonna watch Harry Potter. I was close. No, I'm not gonna watch Harry Potter. I'm actually going to watch Crazy Rich Asians. I'm watching Crazy Rich Asians because I just genuinely love this movie so much. So that is what I'm gonna do. I officially have everything printed for the folders that I need to make. Now, I actually ended up printing out for 12 sets of each of the 5 theories. I really don't need 12 sets for Monday, but I went on ahead and just decided to make enough for if I have, you know, bigger groups for future sessions that I want to do. Or if I want to use these whenever I'm doing the Science of Reading training, which I could just put people into groups, use the 12 sets to be able to have everybody discuss the same set afterwards instead of doing it like a jigsaw. That way it's kind of broken up in that presentation. So either way, I basically made enough sets to be able to use for a variety of sessions in the future. So I need to laminate. Now, instead of sitting on the floor, because you know I'm old, I'm just going to unplug this and then I'm going to place my laminating machine right on top of my printer, and that way I can sit and laminate while also watching the movie. However, it is getting late because I started this video a little bit later in the day. We got up this morning, we kind of, hey buddy, we went and we had breakfast, or I made breakfast this morning. We did French toast, which is one of the boys' favorites. So we had French toast this morning, we kind of hung out, we got ready for the movie, and I didn't start it until almost close to like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I need to do dinner. I ended up making a fresh pot of frijoles for my boys because they were asking for it. So I think they're just going to be very basic and they're just wanting frijoles and tortillas. For my Trent and I think we're just going to do some butter chicken that we have in the refrigerator. He got a pack from Sam's Club, and so we have some naan bread that we need to eat, and I think we're just going to do that. So I'm gonna make some basmati rice and have that with the butter chicken. So I'm gonna go do that. It's gonna end up getting a little bit dark, but I have big lights in this thing that we have plenty of time to get it done, don't we, babes? So we're gonna go make some dinner and then come back and get this stuff done. I'm feeling great about doing it today rather than waiting for tomorrow. I'm worried that if I waited until tomorrow to do all of this, I would have been very, very anxious leading up to the session on Monday morning. So I have a whole list of things that needs to get done to get started for work because I don't feel prepared at all. But we're gonna do these things together and it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get through it. So let's head downstairs. Let's go and make some food, eat, and we'll come back and finish up our folders. For those of you wondering what this is here, this is called mango pickle. It is the most delicious thing ever. It is spicy but sweet at the same time. It just makes everything come together. I love it. Time to eat. Okay, so I have a sample of each one. I would love to sit here and tell you that I have every single one of these done. I don't. I have one of each. But actually, I do have one set finished. It's just all the other ones that I still haven't gotten done. But I figured while I still have a little bit of light outside, I was just gonna walk you through what is inside of each one. So as a reminder, this is for a session that I'm doing on Monday, and it's basically about structured literacy and introduction to the theoretical underpinnings of the science of reading. And so we're gonna go through each of these theories that are out there and that help to support the science of reading and a lot of the work that we're doing in it. And so there's like a group of 70, about 70-ish teachers. And then during one of the activities, which is this one, it's a jigsaw. So they're gonna have index cards that is gonna be a specific color. They have to go find a group of 4, make up a group of 4 with their same color card. And then each group is going to get one of these versions. So they don't get all of them, they're only gonna get one of them. And then after they're done with that, they're then gonna find a group that has a mixture of colors. So if they're all pink, they're going to be working as a group all pink here. Another group that's all blue would be working with this one, so on and so forth. And then they're going to come back and they're going to discuss the things that they did within their group and then share some of the answers that they have for the questions that are inside of their handouts. So that's basically the premise of it. Let's go through and I'm going to show you what is inside each of these. Okay, so let's go over the first one, which is going to be the reading brain. So inside of this one, inside of every single one, they're going to have a list of directions. So they have the reading brain directions here. And then as a group, what they're going to do is they're going to work to construct the brain itself. So I took this morning just a basic graphic of the left hemisphere of the brain. I then went through and created lines so that I could cut these out. So it's not exact, but it's pretty close. And then I ended up putting the words on them for each part of the brain. I figured it would make it a little bit easier if they had the words on there. That way they know exactly where it needs to end up going, because I don't want this to take forever for them. So they would seed the different parts. They would put these together here. So I have the occipital lobe And so it would look something like that. From there, they're then going to identify what each part is. Now, they have 6 different arrows. There's 4 of these. So for each one, for instance, this is speech sounds. So speech sounds is going to be responsible here. They would just kind of create their little chart. You have letter word recognition. Now this one actually occurs in 2 different parts of the brain. So we have this part here, and then we also have it in this part here as we work to make meaning of it. So you can kind of see how it all comes together. And then they have some discussion questions, and they're going to share about like what part, the role that each of these parts have when it comes to teaching kids how to read. So that's this first one. Pretty simple and basic, but I like how it came together, and I like the parts of the brain. I mean, I don't know. So that's the first one. Let me put this off to the side, and then I'm going to show you the next one. So the next one is going to be for Scarborough's reading rope. And this one is a little bit more detailed than the last one. And just to kind of give you a time frame, this should take them about, I would say, like 5 minutes to get some of these done. Now I'm hoping that this one ends up working out the way that I want it to work out, but I was trying to figure out a way to do this without having to like make things again, because I've done a reading rope in the past where they've written each component of the reading rope, and then they've like tied these up or like braided them up to make it look like a rope. However, I don't want to have to remake these every time. So this is what I ended up coming up with. I have the directions ready to go for them. And then they have these cards, and each card has a component of the reading rope up at the very top, and they're going to match them with the definitions here. So let me see if I can get it to match. So you can see here's the definitions. And so what they're going to do, I don't know if this is the actual definition. So what they will do is they will attach it using the Velcro. So it's attached like that. So once they have all of those done, they're then going to use the ropes themselves to place them through here and kind of make or mimic a rope itself. So because these have little tabs here, they can kind of roll the tab up itself and then place it through the hole of the card and then unwind it so that it creates kind of a tab where it sticks. So then they can kind of bind it up together to show that it's part of the reading rope itself. So they're not tying knots. I did make sure I put that in the directions to not tie any knots with this, because I want to just be able to undo it and then reuse it for other sessions. But that is the idea of the reading rope. So they have to be careful because there's 2 different colors, and making sure that they're putting all of the listening comprehension on one and all of the word recognition on the other in order to kind of weave it together through their braids. So I'm pretty proud of this. Like, this took me a minute to figure out how I was going to make this work, but I think this is kind of cool in the sense that they get to kind of see it all come together and talk about why this is important and how this really works for readers to help them be able to comprehend. So that's the second one. Let's put this away, and then I'm going to show you the next one. Okay, so the next one is going to be lame because the other pieces are downstairs and I'm too lazy to go down to get it. So with Aries phases, basically what they're going to have are just a bunch of cards that they're going to sort through. It's going to take them through the definition of each phase, and then it's going to have some examples that they're going to be able to sort together. And again, they do have directions that are in there. I just don't have the sorts because those are all downstairs currently. So I will go get those a little bit later on and fill those in, but at least you know that I do have something for this. It's just downstairs. Okay, so let's talk about the next one, which is the 4-part processor. Now, this one is a little bit more detailed, and it's kind of similar to, just want to make sure I have everything, similar to like the reading brain itself, but they're going to have the directions there. So they have their directions, and then what they have are the 4 parts to the processor. So what they will do is they will work to put the processor together. So this is what it's meant to look like. They're going to use the arrows to kind of help them, showing the relationship between each part of that processor. So this is what that will end up looking like. So the 4-part processor. From there, what they will have are going to be these cards. Now, some cards are going to have, let's see, come on, let's focus on this. They're going to have definitions, and then some are going to have examples. So this would be an example. So basically what they will do is they will match the definition and the example. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly because I'm not reading them, but they would match them for each part of the processor. But they also have some sentences down here to talk about what's happening with the 4-part processor as students are working to read each of the 3 sentences that utilize the word switch in a different sentence. So they would have conversations about that. So that's this next one. I mean, that seems pretty basic, but I feel like it would be a great way to help them process, pun intended, the content or the understanding behind this theoretical framework. Okay, so that's that one. The last one is called The Simple View of Reading. Now, I'm pretty proud of this one too, because this one, I was worried that this wasn't going to come out good. So in this one, with The Simple View of Reading, because it is so basic, it is very basic, which I do love that about The Simple View of Reading. So we give them directions for The Simple View of Reading, and then they have 3 different scenarios. So The Simple View of Reading basically says that reading comprehension is the product of word recognition and language comprehension. That's basically how we learn how to comprehend what we read. We have to have those 2 items. So what they do, now they could totally cheat if they wanted to do this. I'm really hoping that they don't, and they actually have conversations, but you know what? If they want to ruin it for themselves, they totally can, and you'll see why in a minute. So they have 3 different scenarios, and basically what they would do is they're going to read through each scenario. So I've given them a bunch of details about where the student is for their reading comprehension. And then what they're going to do is they're going to identify, because you can score from a 0 to a 1 for both word recognition and language comprehension and reading comprehension. So basically what they have to do is they have to place these in the, I guess that was right, it was 9, in the correct spots to be able to come up with this. Now here's where they could cheat, because you could identify essentially the largest numbers and then be able to say, oh, well, let me just find what is the, what 2 numbers can make these up. So they could very well cheat. I'm hoping that they don't. But I am still pretty proud of it. So that is basically what they would do. They would do it for each of the scenarios that I have, and they would identify each part and put them together. So that is all of the 5 theories and how they kind of came together. I'm getting to the really good part of the movie, and it's the part where Amma basically asked them to come back to that spot, like in the garden, like during the party of the wedding, and she is going to just be like, you can't be with each other, like that kind of thing. So sorry if I just gave you guys a spoiler. If you've never seen that movie, it's very, very good. So I'm at a good part of the movie, and now I am going to continue cutting and putting these together. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I have a lot in me tonight. I don't know why, I'm just really tired. And I need to try to get as much done as possible because I don't want to stress about this tomorrow night. So I'm going to keep working. I might end up putting on another movie, maybe just watch some Ted Lasso, because that is what currently Trent and I are watching. We're also watching the morning show on Apple TV, and Trent doesn't love it as much as I do. So we will see what I end up watching. I might even have some ice cream. So I'm going to continue putting all of these together and hope that I can get them done in a fairly reasonable time. But I will see you all tomorrow. It was just such a lovely morning and such a lovely afternoon going to the movie theater and watching Twisters. And it's so good. Let me know if you have already seen that movie. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you are enjoying this back to school Vlogust. I am going to start something a little new, that if you have any questions, put your questions into the comments, and then I will see if I can answer a question every single day. So at the end of every video, I'll answer some type of a question for you. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please make sure to give the video a quick thumbs up. It takes like not even a second. Just click that little button. Give the video a thumbs up. It really does help me to be able to get out there and to share my videos and resources with other teachers. And if you are not already subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I'm uploading these videos. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Bye.